It's Mara Credo, based at the Cochrane Centre, and we're here sitting in one of our boardrooms with other colleagues. And welcome to everyone to today's seminar series on navigating the Cochrane Library. So I'm going to ask everyone to just mute themselves, and I'll switch off our camera, but you will see our screen. You can switch off if anyone has the video webcam on, if we can switch that off, because we'll concentrate on the presentation that Elizabeth did. So I'd like to introduce. Okay, firstly, I'm going to mute you. Yeah. Okay. So what we'd like to do is introduce Elizabeth. So Elizabeth Pienaar is a senior scientist at the Cochrane Centre. Has been working for many years. We're very pleased to be able to share her knowledge and training us about. I'm going to hand over to Elizabeth.
Thanks, Tamara. So, So for today's session, what I'd like to do is explain exactly what the Cochrane Library is, and then hopefully you will learn how to navigate the Cochrane Library, browse its contents in various ways, and then also learn how to search the Cochrane Library and identify systematic reviews and trials. Okay. So, how do we access the Cochrane Library? There's a South African national license paid for by the South African Medical Research Council, which provides one-click access to the Cochrane Library for any person with a South African IP address. And then also most of the academic institutions will have a license. So anybody out there, please ask your librarian at your institution about access to the Cochrane Library. And then for Band 1, those are the low-income countries as defined by the World Bank. There is free access to the Cochrane Library. And this is what the Cochrane Library's homepage looks like. And there's also the URL which you can use to access the Cochrane Library. The current impact factor of the Cochrane Library is 6.264, and it's ranked about 10th out of 153 journals in the ISI category of medicine, general and internal health. So what exactly do we find within the Cochrane Library? It says it's a library, but it consists of 6 databases of high quality independent evidence which can be used to inform healthcare decisions. And it is published by John Wiley and Sons. And we are now going to go into what exactly are these various databases within the Cochrane Library. The first one and the main one is the Cochrane Database of Systematic Reviews. This is a leading resource for systematic reviews of healthcare. These reviews and protocols are prepared by authors within the Cochrane collaboration under the supervision of individual Cochrane groups and using the guidance of the Cochrane Handbook for Systematic Reviews. Each of these reviews are intensely peer-reviewed. They are published online, and the library has moved from a monthly publication to adding reviews and protocols at the time when they are ready for publication. From the latest issue, which is issue 2 of 2018, there are currently 10,084 records within CDSR. Of these, more than 7,500 are reviews and more than 2,500 are protocols. That is reviews in progress. And then again, there's the journal impact factor of the Cochrane Library. You will also find, as part of the library, the database of abstracts of reviews of effects. This is the only database with abstracts of systematic reviews that have been quality assessed. Now, these are not Cochrane reviews, but they are reviews that have been published in other healthcare journals like Lancet, JAMA, New England Journal of Medicine. The records within this database includes a brief summary of the review, plus a critical commentary on that review. It covers a broad range of health-related interventions in diverse fields like diagnostic tests, public health, health promotion, surgery, psychology, and the list just goes on. It acts as a complement to the Cochrane database of systematic reviews. And this database is put together by the Centre for Reviews and Dissemination at the University of York in the UK. The next database that we have is the Cochrane Central Register of Controlled Trials. Now, we are all aware that to do a Cochrane systematic review, you need to have access to all possible randomized controlled trials on a specific topic. And this is the access point to get all of those trials. It contains details of published articles, which we have gathered from databases like Embase and Medline, as well as other published and unpublished sources. This is not a full text database as opposed to CDSR. It contains bibliographic details and in many cases, a summary of the article. Also part of this register is the specialized registers of each of the Cochrane review groups. A review group will gather trials related specifically to their topic of interest, and this is then added to the central register. They may also collect information that is not directly relevant to their topic of research, and they will add that as hand search results to their specialized register, which then also moves into the Cochrane Register of Controlled Trials. Another database within the library is the Cochrane Methodology Register. This register comprises publications reporting on methods used in the conduct of controlled trials, as well as in the conduct of systematic reviews, and can be journal articles, books, as well as conference proceedings. Most of the content is also sourced from Medline and then also through hand searches. Details included here are the title, bibliographic information, summary of articles in some cases, but again, not the full text. And this is overseen by the Cochrane Methodology Review Group. Currently, this database is under review, and the last update of this register was done in July of 2012. Another very valuable database that we have as part of the Cochrane Library is the Health Technology Assessment Database. And this is details of completed and ongoing health technology assessments. These are studies of medical, social, and economic implications of healthcare interventions. And the aim of this database is to improve the quality and the cost effectiveness of healthcare. This database is also produced by the Center for Reviews and Dissemination. The last update for this database in the Cochrane Library was in October of 2016, but it is still currently managed by the Center for Reviews and Dissemination and is available up until now through their website. Then we have the National Health Service Economic Evaluation Database. And as the line on the screen says, it contains abstracts of quality assessed economic evaluations. With funding being limited in many countries, it is imperative for health decision makers to have information on economic evaluations of interventions. This database is also produced by the Center for Reviews and Dissemination and is available as well through their website as well as the Cochrane Library. So now we can move on to how do we search for Cochrane systematic reviews, and I'm going to switch to the Cochrane Library so that we can directly search the library. What you see on the screen now is what the library looks like, the home page. And if we look at Cochrane reviews, which is the main thing and which is what we want to search for today, you can do that in various ways. We can search for them by topic, which will give you an alphabetic list of topics. And if I now click on rheumatology, it will start loading all reviews related to rheumatology. And you can see on the left-hand side, we can even go into more specifics for rheumatology. Oops, sorry. I just need to move back. You will find on the left-hand side that there are various review groups which have reviews related to rheumatology. For instance, we have the back and neck group, the bone and joint group. And then on the right-hand side, it is currently showing us some results, listing the reviews where I'm now. And all of you were sent a copy of the reference guide for the Cochrane Library. On page 5 of that reference guide, you will find detailed information on the various tags that are there. But if we put our cursor there, it will tell you that a new search has been done for this review. And this is actually an intervention review. So let's go back to where we were. Apart from browsing reviews by topic, another way is to go to a specific review group. If you are, for instance, interested in oral health, you can go directly to the oral health review group's their list of reviews and open that up, and it will load all the oral health groups. And now we have various topics related to oral health, child health, diagnosis, and again we have the reviews listed on the right-hand side. And this one, has got another tag. This is not a review. This is a protocol. Interventions for managing immature permanent teeth with necrotic pulps. I'm not going to open the reviews now. I will do so when we are doing the search. But the other databases that we mentioned, we can also search. There is the other reviews, the database of reviews of effect, which we can have a look at, and it will list all of the reviews contained within that database. So these are the summary reviews. Then we have the method studies, and it will again list for us all the method studies. Here's one, abstract screening the value of 2 reviewers, which is very important when you're conducting a systematic review. Technology assessment. We can browse that database again. It will be an alphabetical list of all the records within that database. The same for economic evaluations. Again, a whole list of the records within economic evaluations. The next thing that we are going to do is we need to search the Cochrane Library.
Thanks, Elizabeth. While we find that,
Yes. So when we open up search, this is what you will see, and you can see that you can limit your search to a specific field. The default field for searching the Cochrane Library here will be title, abstracts, and keywords. And I'm just going to open up this drop-down menu. If we go to all search, it will search right across the record, the review, which means it's going to search in the full text. Remember, systematic reviews, you have access to the full text of the record. We can do it by record title, or we can do it by author, and let's quickly do one by author, and then I will show you. So now what we now have up on the screen are all the records within the Cochrane database of systematic reviews, of which Dr. Credo is an author. You will see that our search term is highlighted in the author list. But let's do another search, because I want to show you something different. Let's keep it to title, abstract, and keywords. And I'm just going to do a quick one. And I'm going to see with this, say add to search manager. And once we've done that, I will explain to you why I'm doing this. So we have that in our search manager. This is so that you can see all the statements that you have entered, which will allow you the opportunity to combine search statements later. And if we're interested in the treatment of tuberculosis with rifampicin, we simply say rifampicin, and now I can just say go. And now we have 2 search statements there. Let's say we're interested in this in adults. We can search for adults. now we have three statements, which we now have to combine. So we say number 1 and number 2 and number 3. It now tells me that there are 103 records for treating tuberculosis with rifampicin in adults. So to see the results, we click on the 103 and it has now brought up the results. But the nice thing about doing a search in the Cochrane Library is that you're not searching a single database at a time. You're searching across all included databases. And you will see that in Cochrane Reviews, we have 31 records. Unfortunately, nothing in other reviews, but we do have 69 in trials and 3 in economic evaluations. It is also possible to toggle between the various databases to see the results. So if I click on economic evaluations, it will immediately bring up the records from that. So here are our our 3 records from economic evaluations. We can go back to our Cochrane, we can go to our reviews, which is 31 records, but this is a combination of reviews and protocols. And you will see again, they will have a tag that says a review, where it has a little green block, CM, that means someone has commented on that. There's also a DX, which relates to diagnostic test studies. And this one has an NS next to it. Someone has done a new search for this review on the nutritional supplements for people being treated for active tuberculosis. I'm going to show you what the protocols look like. They will have a specific tag that says this is a protocol. If it's a new record for one publication of the Cochrane Library, it will have an indication that this is a new record. When the next issue of the library is published, this new will no longer be there. So I'm back to reviews, and we are going to open up one of these reviews. And again, at the top, you will see that this review has a new search. It's a review as intervention. And at the top, we find the author list, as well as the date when it was first published, under which editorial group it falls. It starts off with a very nice structured abstract, which you can read in English, French, Portuguese, and if we're lucky, maybe in Japanese as well. That is all dependent on it being translated. There is also what is termed a plain language summary, which will not contain all the technical details of the results, but is in plain language a summary for the person out there who wants to read that. And then the summary of findings table, which will be next. And then it is followed by the full text of the review. Are there any questions at this point? No. Okay. Okay. So some more information that's available. You will see on this page that there's a tab that says About. If we drop down that, some detailed information about the Cochrane Library, as well as the Cochrane collaboration, as well as the review group. If you are interested in conducting a Cochrane systematic review, you can either contact your nearest Cochrane Center, or you might want to go to the different Cochrane review groups. And you will see a whole list of the review groups, which will take you to the websites of the individual review groups, where you will find detailed information about that specific review group. Page back to the top, and then some special announcements about that. And there's also a help function available should you need that. Under more resources, we have the Cochrane Journal Club. There are some podcasts that have been done. Cochrane Clinical Answers, which provides instant access to high quality evidence. And you can sign up for webinars on that website. And then as well, Cochrane has some special collections, which I also want to show you. We have Evidence Aid, which provides free access for resources for earthquakes, post-traumatic stress disorder following natural disasters, resources for flooding and poor water sanitation. And then Cochrane Supplements, where you will find abstracts of the various annual Cochrane meetings. And Cochrane Library for iPad edition. So the Cochrane Library can also be accessed using an iPad instead of a normal laptop. Does anybody have any questions? So if there are no questions, I want to thank you all for joining us today. And should you have any questions about the library after this presentation, you are welcome to contact us at Cochrane South Africa.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to do a systematic review in atopic dermatitis in children. So, does it mean that if I go through the Cochrane Library, I will need to go through other databases like Scopus? And yeah, that's my question. Is that enough search? Just going through the Cochrane Library, is there enough search?
No. I would suggest that you supplement your search for a Cochrane review. It should cover PubMed, Medline, and if possible, Embase, and then the Cochrane Library. It is better to search all three of them.
Okay.
But if you want to, you are welcome to send us an email with your question again, and then I can send you a detailed explanation of what your search is going to entail. Are you planning on doing a Cochrane systematic review?
I think it would be better, yeah.
Okay. So
that's my plan.
If you can send a detailed email, then we can tell you exactly which Cochrane review group to contact, and then they should be able to assist you with the whole process, because the review entails registering the title of your review and then preparing the protocol which gets peer-reviewed and published on the Cochrane Library, and then the whole review process. But
okay, I will send you now.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.